Yes, yo, that is Scott Jackson beatboxing with DJ Doctor on the cuts. And we got a special interview tonight. Scott Jackson on the phone with us right now, all the way from the west coast of Canada. What's good, brother?
Hey now. Just chilling out, man.
Word up. On the tour right now. You just finished up Shambhala Music Festival. I know you were out there doing your thing and now doing some more shows out on the west coast. How's it been out there?
It's amazing out here. Vancouver's a place on the west coast in BC. It's just amazing, man. It's beautiful scenery and great people, really good vibes. Shambhala was absolutely nuts, and I don't know, man. It's just really been a good time out here. Going to be doing some shows with Fresh Kills and Emotions, Danny and Lizzie, Autocrat. There's a bunch of people on the bills, and we got 4 dates, 2 in Vancouver, 1 in Nanaimo, and 1 in Victoria on the island. So it's been a very busy summer.
Yes, definitely. I just saw your announcement the other day about heading off to China as well. You just got you're like, Scott Jackson is going to China. That's big news, man. How'd that all come about?
Yeah, man, it was kind of random. I got this call from a lady, Lily, and she said they were having this talent search and asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and said that she would put me into the semifinals just because she knew my name. And I went out, tried out, and ended up winning my little group. They put me into the final show, and then the final show went real well, and I ended up winning the opportunity to go over to China to be on a TV show. Kind of like Canada's Got Talent, but the idea is at the end of it, if you win it, you get to perform at the Chinese New Year's gala, the biggest one that they have, where they have approximately 800 million people watching. So my fingers are crossed that I do well over in China, you know?
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
It'd be a real game changer for me, because if you do that show in China and you do that New Year's gala show, it kind of puts you right up there right away, and you're pretty well known off that. So
yeah, no, you'd be able to do like little China tours.
Yeah, well, I was told that there's about 5,300 or something along these lines cities in China, so there'd be a lot of show possibilities.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I know that down there it's a whole different world for music-wise. Their shows are massive and just like big festivals and stuff like that all the time, and like way bigger than what we have over here. So if you got on that, that'd be something else, definitely, man. And I know you're headed in that direction for sure. Yeah, well,
I've been beatboxing for a long time and doing a lot of shows and kind of fine-tuning the art of performing. And I think that from being on a street corner at Yonge and Dundas and busking for days on end and figuring out how to entertain people from all walks of life, it's really helped me along in my career. And I don't know, it's kind of funny how things work out. I did something last minute, kind of on a whim, and then won the opportunity to go to China. So you never know what you can do and get the opportunity if you just try stuff, you know?
Definitely. I love that story about getting out there in the streets with the people. I got in an interview recently that I had with WFX. He was talking about, how he's gotten really good was basically just spending so much time on the street, like day in and day out, always grinding it out, because right when you're on the street is when you're able to see the immediate reaction from people, and you're able to fine tune your craft, like you said, and get it better and get it tighter, because you're able to actually see how it affects people and see what works, what doesn't work. And that's what you're all about, and I love the fact that now I just made the announcement earlier that you're involved in the WFX show here in Guelph and in London, and it's going to be good to have a chance for you to be a part of that as well, because you guys have kind of the similar story.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing those shows, and it's going to be a wild night with the amount of beatboxing that's going to be going down. And we got Hatchie on there as well, so it's gonna be awesome to have Mouthpiece out. And I think we're gonna put together a little piece to shock the people at the end. I'm not gonna say too much, but
oh, no way! Are you for real? I like this. Yes. Awesome.
No pressure, but I'm just saying that I think that's in the works, brother.
Cool. I'm glad that's happening. That's wicked, man. Wicked. Yeah, no, it's good, man. It's good to get that beatbox element out. You know what I mean? And like see people do it live. It's like it's not something that happens every day. A lot of shows that we have here in Guelph, you know, we don't have a big beatbox scene up in this area really. So bringing in guys like yourself and Hashi the Mouthpiece for shows like this is great, because then we get a chance to see something that we don't get a chance to see every day. And the talent that it takes to be able to do what you guys do is incredible. And like the time and dedication that you put into your craft is appreciated by people. So we respect that, and we're looking forward to seeing you for sure.
Yeah, as I said, I'm really looking forward to rocking the stage and getting the crowd hyped up for dub. And then, you know, in general, just continuously putting your best foot forward and doing shows. That's how you get more shows. That's how you keep the ball rolling.
Definitely. That's good. I like that. Speak on that a little bit, just about the importance of, you know, maintaining good relationships with people when you're doing shows. I think a lot of people, you know, burn their bridges. Artists, I know I've seen it firsthand, just when things, you know, people butt heads and ego gets in the way, or somebody starts thinking that they're better than somebody else, and like giving other people attitude and stuff like that. There's a lot of clash that happens in like the industry, in hip hop, I think, especially just because it's like, I don't know, it's built on like competition and people being like big headed and stuff, right? So what's it been like for you and your experiences, because you are somebody who has made great relationships. You obviously have a lot of good connections with KOTD and done a lot of touring with them and done a lot of TV appearances and stuff like that. How were you able to make these relationships to do these shows and keep it something that is coming back repeatedly and giving you some consistency?
Yeah, I think the main thing is all about respect. And when someone calls me up and has the time to call me, I feel like I should have the time to talk to them, because they're taking time out of their day. And the idea that we're all on a level playing field, no matter how quote-unquote big you get, because it's the people that, you know, some people it works out where they can step on people's toes and step on their heads to get up above as fast as they can and try to get up there and just let it rain. But I find the idea of that mutual respect and being able to go and say, like, yeah, I'll go do this show for you. Like when I was 17, 18, 16, and I was starting beatboxing, I would go and bust out to shows and lose money, quote unquote, because I bust out to a show, didn't get paid for it, did open mics everywhere, and it was just the idea that I just kept doing it. And the further and more you get these shows and show people that you're willing to go and travel, you're willing to go and put in the effort without getting paid, it shows them that you have initiative. And then afterwards, it starts coming full circle where they start saying, you know what, you did a real good job out there last time. How about this time I'm going to give you $50 to come out and do this little show for me. And then you do that show and you show up on time, you're professional, and you treat the crowd the way that they treat you, and you treat the people that bring you out with respect. And then eventually it just keeps building and building. It's just a snowball effect. The more you perform, and the more that you, for myself at least, the more that I feel like I show respect to the people that I've been working with, and never like let them down. If someone says be here at this time, I'm there at that time, and I don't just flop on shows, or I don't just all of a sudden feel like, oh, I don't want to do that show anymore, or oh, this guy's going ahead of me, I don't like I'm the headliner or something. Not like I don't have time for that. It's just I show up, I do what I'm supposed to, and just then people see it. And people can also, as you said, you see the people that go out and have a big ego and have their head blowing up, and then sometimes these are the people that they step on too many toes, and eventually people just get sick of them and they don't want to go and book them. The reason that some people kind of taper off is that they've stepped on all the toes all the way along, and eventually there's no one else to go and help you out. And in general, just got to be courteous. I think that's the biggest thing. Respect is the biggest thing. Even aside from performing, aside from everything else, the idea of respect is the biggest thing in life. Whether or not someone that's going to go and make my food for me, I really appreciate that. Someone that's going to go and if I need to drive somewhere and I'm paying a taxi to go and get me somewhere, I'm not going to go into a taxi and start trying to, just be a dick to him, essentially, excuse me, but like, I'm not going to be rude to him because he's doing me a service, he's doing his job, and he's doing it well. And as long as they show me respect and have that, then it's mutual.
Definitely. Respect. So crucial, so key, and being courteous. You know, I love all those things that you're saying, and just showing up on time, taking it serious, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of times early on in your career where you're coming out of the pocket to do a lot of work in the industry. Even when you're working on songs and stuff as an artist, you're spending money on beats, spending money on recording time, all sorts of stuff, and you never really see any of that back. But as long as you're willing to put that investment in yourself, and you pay for that bus ride to get to that show, and you show up, eventually down the line, people are going to recognize that. And like you said, they're going to want to start paying you for it. And they're going to be like, you know what? Yes, you did a good job. You deserve a little bit, and they'll hook you up. And, you know, it's a slow climb and a slow build. But I think being like you said, just like humble and being respectful of people and don't step on people's toes, then that's what's going to get you places and continue getting you booked. So it's good seeing you that, you know, you have a really good head on your shoulders. I can see that already. And you're young too. Like, how old are you?
I'm 26, and I have to thank my mom and dad for having a good head on my shoulders, and also family and friends that I choose to keep in contact with. It's a funny thing how much you are like your parents in some cases. If they've been good to you and helped you out along the way, you really pick up a lot of the stuff, and you end up, there's been times where I kind of stop and think, like, you know, my dad did that exact same thing, or I will say something and I'm like, that sounds exactly like what my mom told me before. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've just been blessed with the best parents you can ask for, and I don't know what to say about that. It's just I'd rather be happy and humble than trying to be egotistical and egocentric, because I don't know. You got to hold the door for someone else when they're walking through.
Yes. Well put. And that's good that you give big ups to your parents, man, for real, because they shape who we are, and they help us a lot along our way. And, you know, I was just thinking about this even today, because I was talking with a younger kid, and his dad was just like saying, like, yeah, he's a little shy and stuff. And his dad's pretty outgoing, you know what I mean? I was like, how, like, where is shy? Like, how does shy, where does that come from? You know what I mean? What makes a child feel like they can't express themselves or, like, get outside and really be who they are and stuff like that? You know what I mean? And I wonder sometimes, like, it has a lot to do with the parents and just how they raise them, and the comfort, the love, and the confidence that they instill into them, into letting them know that, like, you know, you can do whatever you want to do with your life, and having faith in you, and not trying to steer you and direct you on a certain path to what they think that you should be, but just kind of like letting you do your thing, and that's big. So I'm sure your parents have played a major role in the success that you've got already, and what will happen in the future.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's I just got off the phone with Mom telling her I love her, because I'm out on tour and I'm a mama's boy, you know. Like, I love my family, and I'll call my mom and tell her that as often as I can. I'll say the same thing to my dad, and try to reach out to my brother and my best friends. It's keeping in contact and letting people know that you think of them, and I think that goes a long way beyond just your family, and spending that time to go and say, you know what, I checked out your music. That music was tight. That CD you made was tight, and I really respect your beats that you do for the new generation of beatboxers and people that you see just doing positive things. Positivity just grows itself, and everybody out there, if you're listening, go call your mom and tell her you love them.
That's so true. And it means a lot. You know what I mean? Having that good friend connection. Like, I was sitting down and chilling with one of my homies last night that I haven't got a chance to really connect with for a while. I've been so busy doing music and stuff. And he was even saying himself, he's just like, I've been busy doing this and traveling and stuff, and haven't been around too much. But he's like, a lot of people, like, the contact nowadays, that calling that you're talking about, like just calling up your friends or calling up your mom, it doesn't happen as much, because you know what, it's so much simpler to send a text or send a Facebook message or send an email. And people need to recognize the fact that, like, those ways of communication aren't there's no feeling to them. There's no life in text on a page or on a screen. There's no energy behind it. And when you have that call and that connection, you can talk to each other and feel each other's emotions through what you're saying and the cadence in your voice. You can tell when something's wrong or when something's bothering somebody, or when something's happy and you want to support them and stuff like that. You know, you can feel that a lot better when you're having a conversation on the phone. And that's something that I feel like is almost lost in today's society, or it's getting to that point, and I feel like we need to bring that back, resurrect it, the phone call.
Resurrection of a phone call is key. You're absolutely right. I feel the same way. I feel that there's a lot of people that live online and live through their Facebook, and oh my God, I didn't get any likes on this post, or oh my God, I put out a picture and someone commented this and someone didn't retweet my thing or didn't like my thing on friggin' Instagram, or they didn't go and send back one BBM. You know, all these things. It just kept on. It's dehumanizing us, and I feel like conversation itself and being out there and talking to people and actually going out and being like, hey, you want to go and do something? Not just, hey, I'm going to send you a text and we'll just sit at home on our phones. It's the worst thing ever when you walk by and you see a group of people at a table eating a meal and every single one of them is on their phone. Every single one of them has their head down on the little screen, because it's so important comparatively to having a conversation when you're sitting around a table.
It's madness.
You know, yeah, absolutely. If I'm having dinner with someone and they're on their phone for a whole lot of it, like, with the absolute exception of it's business and I need to take care of these things immediately and I'm sorry and I'm they're apologizing and saying, excuse me, I got to go take care of this, and maybe even excusing themselves from a table, I just find it rude, and I'd rather sit down with the people that are actually going to get off their phone and just talk to me and have a conversation. That's what life's about.
Definitely. You know, I have a new rule now. Somebody passed it on to me. I forget who it was or if I saw it in a movie or something, but basically it's anytime you sit down at a table, everyone's got to pull their cell phones out of their pockets, put it all in the center of the table, and the first person to grab their cell phone has to pay the bill of the table. You know what I mean? And it keeps everybody, you know, you don't want to touch it. And we never actually stick anybody with the bill, obviously. But if you got to grab your phone, you got to grab your phone. If somebody's calling you and you're like, okay, I got to grab it this time, do it. But it just creates that air of like, okay, recognize, guys, like, we don't need to be on our phones right now. We can interact with each other, have a good conversation. We can be on our phone in a half hour, 45 minutes when the meal is done.
Absolutely. If you don't have time to go and at least have a meal without a phone, I feel like it's just... I feel there's a lot of people that it's kind of like a soother. It's kind of like that. Blanket, so I can live my day, because if I don't see that 1,000 people putting out their tweets and their Instagram and their little thoughts, and if I don't follow up and know every single thing that happened online, I'm missing out. But you're really just missing out on life in general if you're so connected to your phone.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. I had a friend of mine recently just lose their phone, and they were like almost devastated. Like the emotion, I could see it coming off them. Like they were so scared. They're just like, oh my goodness, like I don't know where it is. It's gone. I can't find it. It was like, you could see, it was like they were missing a piece of themselves, you know. And that's what our phones have become. They're like bionically attached to us in some freaky robotic way. And it scares me, man. It scares me for the future. But it's all good, because through these conversations right here, right now, like this one, hopefully we can bring people back to the realization that we don't need to be on our phone so much. You know, listen. But the irony of this all is that probably a lot of our listeners that are listening right now are probably listening through a mobile device.
Well, thank you for them for tuning in, at least.
That's the good part of it. But at the same time, while you're listening in, don't be all like Twittering and Facebooking and Instagramming. But you know, at the same time, you have to do that, because it's gotta keep up on your social media, man. You gotta get your followers up. You gotta get your likes up, right?
That's right. That's right. The important things.
The important things in life. It's confusing sometimes, but hey, we know what they are. Stay grounded, stay humble, and stay focused, driven, and determined, man. I really appreciate the talk. I appreciate you hitting me up last minute there. We made it happen, connected, and I'm super stoked to have you perform here in Guelph. for the first time. Never had. I don't think we've ever had you out here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. Should be exciting.
It's going to be a good show out there, and I hope everybody that's listening comes in, tunes in, and yeah, check me out, Scott Jackson Beatbox on Facebook, at Scott Jackson BB on Twitter and Instagram. What a selfish, shameless promotion.
Drop it, brother. Drop it. I'll drop it for you. What is your Twitter handle?
At Scott Jackson BB.
At Scott Jackson BB. All right, go and follow him right now. Like him on Facebook and check out the videos on YouTube. Lots of cool stuff out there. So, word up, man. You're killing them all the time out there. Keep winning the competitions. Have a fun time in out west there. And then when you head off to China, that should be a blast.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have a good time, and I'll see you Guelph in September 29th, I believe.
Yep, you got it.
September 29th. We'll be out in Guelph rocking a show. So... Baby, come on out. Baby, come on out.
Wow. Awesome, brother. Thank you so much for that. That was wicked.